In the heart of Europe, more than 7,000 years ago, a mysterious civilization emerged. A society of advanced farmers, capable of building vast settlements and spreading their knowledge across entire regions. But one question remains: how and why did this culture vanish without a trace? Today, we uncover the mysteries of the LBK culture, the lost civilization that may have been the true cradle of Europe. Long before the towering cathedrals and ancient empires of Europe, a groundbreaking civilization took root. Around 5500 BCE, the Linear Pottery Culture, known as LBK, spread across Central Europe. These early settlers didn't just survive, they thrived. But unlike nomadic tribes, they built permanent villages, cultivated crops, and domesticated animals, marking the dawn of European agriculture. The story of civilization in Europe didn't begin with the Romans or the Greeks. It started thousands of years earlier, with a mysterious group of settlers known as the Linear Pottery Culture, or LBK. Emerging around 5500 BCE in the Danube Valley, these early pioneers spread rapidly, transforming wild landscapes into organized agricultural settlements. But how did they develop such advanced skills at a time when most of Europe was still dominated by small, nomadic tribes? Imagine a world without cities, without writing, and without metal tools. This was Europe over 7,000 years ago. Yet, the LBK culture thrived in ways that seemed far ahead of their time. These early Europeans built large, organized villages, some with over 50 houses, using timber, clay, and thatched roofs. Unlike the scattered groups of hunter-gatherers, they lived in tight-knit communities, relying on agriculture and animal domestication for survival. They cultivated wheat, barley, peas, and flax, and raised cattle, pigs, sheep, and goats. This marked the true beginning of European farming, allowing populations to grow rapidly. But there was something even more fascinating about their way of life: how they spread across Europe at an unprecedented speed. Within a few centuries, LBK farmers had expanded from Central Europe into what is now Germany, France, Poland, and even Ukraine. But how did they do it? Were they peaceful settlers, or did they conquer existing populations? Some evidence suggests that they may have faced violent resistance from indigenous hunter-gatherers, leading to conflicts that shaped the fate of their civilization. When we think of ancient megaliths, we usually imagine the massive stone circles of Stonehenge or the pyramids of Egypt. But long before these structures, the LBK people were already shaping the land with their own architectural wonders. Unlike the small, scattered camps of hunter-gatherers, LBK settlements were large and well-organized. They built long houses, some over 40 meters in length, using wooden beams, clay, and thatched roofs. These homes were not just shelters. They were the center of family life, housing multiple generations under one roof. But what's even more intriguing are the fortifications found in some LBK villages. Evidence of palisades, ditches, and wooden walls suggests that they may have needed protection. But from what? Were they defending themselves against rival tribes? Or was there something more ominous threatening their civilization? Some archaeologists believe that the LBK may have even experimented with monumental architecture, possibly influencing later European megalithic sites. Could they have been the true pioneers of Europe's ancient stone structures? For nearly 2,000 years, the LBK culture thrived, expanding across Europe and revolutionizing agriculture. But then, suddenly it vanished. No great cities were abandoned. No written records tell their fate. So what happened? Archaeologists have proposed several theories, each more intriguing than the last. One possibility is climate change. Around 5000 BCE, Europe faced sudden environmental shifts, droughts, floods, or soil depletion may have devastated their farmlands. Without food, their society may have collapsed, forcing survivors to scatter or merge with other groups. Another theory points to war and violence. Some LBK sites reveal shocking evidence of massacres. Entire villages burned, skeletons with brutal injuries, and mass graves of men, women, and children. Could they have been wiped out by rival tribes? Or was there internal conflict that led to their downfall? A third, even darker theory suggests disease played a role. As the first large, settled farming communities in Europe, LBK people lived in close quarters with animals, a perfect breeding ground for deadly epidemics. Could an unknown plague have wiped them out? Or did they simply evolve into something else? Some believe that LBK culture didn't truly vanish, but instead merged with later European civilizations, their traditions living on in ways we still don't fully understand. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the disappearance of the LBK remains one of Europe's oldest and greatest unsolved mysteries. Even though the LBK people vanished, their legacy still echoes through time. They were among the first to bring agriculture to Europe, turning wild landscapes into farmland, a practice that shaped the continent's history for thousands of years. Their long houses inspired later European architectural styles, influencing the way communities were built across the continent. Even today, some rural houses in Central Europe still follow similar designs. But perhaps their most lasting impact was cultural. The LBK were pioneers of social organization, creating the first structured settlements in Europe. Their ability to spread rapidly and adapt to new lands laid the foundation for the rise of later civilizations, from the Celts to the Germanic tribes. Even now, archaeologists continue to uncover new clues about the LBK, rewriting what we know about early European history. Were they truly the first European civilization, or were they just one piece of a much larger puzzle? The story of the LBK culture is a reminder of how civilizations rise and fall, sometimes leaving behind more questions than answers. They were pioneers of farming, architecture, and social organization, shaping the foundation of Europe long before the great empires of Rome and Greece. But their sudden disappearance remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Were they victims of climate change, war, or disease? Or did they simply evolve into something new, their legacy hidden in the DNA of modern Europeans? As archaeologists continue to uncover new clues, one thing is certain: history is far from fully written. What do you think happened to the LBK people? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring the mysteries of the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more discoveries. Even now, archaeologists continue to uncover new clues about the LBK, rewriting what we know about early European history. Were they truly the first European civilization, or were they just one piece of a much larger puzzle? The story of the LBK culture is a reminder of how civilizations rise and fall, sometimes leaving behind more questions than answers. They were pioneers of farming, architecture, and social organization, shaping the foundation of Europe long before the great empires of Rome and Greece. But their sudden disappearance remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Were they victims of climate change, war, or disease? Or did they simply evolve into something new, their legacy hidden in the DNA of modern Europeans? As archaeologists continue to uncover new clues, one thing is certain: history is far from fully written. What do you think happened to the LBK people? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring the mysteries of the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more discoveries.